everyone. Hope I'm audible. Yeah, perfect. So my name is Atul Rai. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Staqu Technologies. So we are an AI startup. And of course, now everything is AI, right? But we are doing it for the last 10 years. We are working on cameras. And it's a quite different kind of AI because most of the AI which we talk about currently are based out of the language, text kind of models. We are working very different kind of a model where we're using cameras as a device to perform different kind of analysis. Let's start with the problem statement. Okay. It's not working. Okay. I'll just check. Yeah, okay. So if we talk about cameras, we all have camera. In our retail stores, we have like camera everywhere. And we treat camera as a dumb device. And in human evolution, camera is the most powerful sensor like ever developed. And if you talk about our retail, we have retail like 200, 500, 800, 50 retail stores. And we have cameras there, but we don't have any visibility what is happening inside the store. And we have the cameras. The first problem statement for a retail store owner is to know whether the store is open or not, whether the store, you have the employees inside or not. And for that, the first thing which you can trust is the camera, because camera produce a kind of a data which you as a human can, of course, do the interpretation of, right? So that is something, the first challenge. Second is a kind of insights. There are two powerful insights a retail owner want to have. One, the customer behavior. When the customer is entering inside the store, what is the engagement? What is the different kind of a movement inside? What is the journey and all? That is the first part which anyone want to track. And second, of course, you have different operations and SOP which has you created, right? So these are the two broad problem statement. Of course, that can be narrowed down into 6, 8 different kind of problem statement where you want to track. So you are doing a lot of marketing event. You are basically expecting a lot of customer to come to the store, and you are finding, of course, no sales is happening. But maybe the customers are coming and they're not buying anything. Do you have any information on that? Do you have any data on that? So this is something the camera can help. Camera can identify whether you had a footfall or not, and whether that footfall get converted or not. So let's start first problem first. The first problem, as I said, is the camera aggregation. Camera aggregation means we have the camera, we want to have at least a centralized visibility of all the cameras without putting any new hardware, without buying a new hardware. That means you have to have just an internet connection, and with this product which we have, Jarvis, you can aggregate all your camera at one place, which means you do not need to buy any hardware or something. Whatever camera you have to have just an internet connection. And now, thanks to Digital India and Jio and Airtels, we have internet everywhere, right? So this is something where you can see all your cameras. Now coming to the next part. Once you do some marketing, right, you want to know how many people came to a store. That we call unique footfall analysis. So footfall means you now know like these many people came, and of course you have the billing data. So you can also identify what is your conversion rate. And this is where you are fighting with the e-commerce. E-commerce has all the data. E-commerce understands each and every customer behavior. Retail store owner, I mean, of course, you have just one data. What is our sales data? That's all. Sales is the only data you guys have. And here you have the unique data. How many unique customers are coming to store? Of course, we are deducting your employees. We're not counting your employees, and that is power a camera has. Maybe a blind sensor do not have that power, right? The second very important part is sometimes we have the footfall, but then we get the abandoned footfall. People come to the store, in the 5 minutes they leave the store. So that abandoned footfall can also be tracked. And all is happening without any facial recognition, anything. It's just appearance analysis and gait analysis, which means it's the way of walking style, the way the clothing being worn by the person, and then based on that, that analysis is happening. That's the first part. And again, you know, the male, female, and different other analysis, which could be a powerful for your marketing campaigns, right? Which is missing for all the retail store. And that is what we're doing with 200 plus brands in India and across 5 countries in the globe. The second very important part is queue. You are entering inside the retail store, take any big retail store, and you see a longer queue. I'm having a lot of, for example, I bought some clothes and all, and then I see a longer queue, and then I left the queue. And maybe I have a 5 posh machine inside the retail in my store, but none of those stores, none of those posh machines are working, or no one is there on the posh machine, right? So as a retail owner sitting in Mumbai, you are not knowing that within the Jaipur store, no one is serving the customer, right? So that means that kind of analysis. So for example, in the orange boxes there, right, you can identify these are the times when the queue time was longer than they expected. And this is all happening from that dumb device called as camera, right? So we are using that camera to make it more smarter. The next important part is when the customer enter inside the store, you want to understand whether they are going to the different section or not. You might be having mobile section, TV section and all. So that means you can also identify the customer journey within different kind of a store, different kind of area inside the store. And that is all happening on your own cameras. After that, the next very important component is engagement analysis. Means I went to that area. After that, going to that area, how much time I am engaging with that product. So there is a TV, there is washing machine, there is a mobile phone, there are different sections in electronic shop, right? So how the customer is behaving in that? Maybe a coffee shop itself. A coffee shop might be having different sections inside the area, and that of course we have all the big customers in India working with us. So whether the people are, which particular seats preferences people are having, where they want to sit. So that kind of analysis is a powerful thing for you to perform different kind of a decision making, right? Because data is now a new chaos. It's not a oil, it's a new chaos. And you have to find out something very powerful out of it. And that can be done only through the AI, but that AI has to have some purpose. It's not like a next LLM just being developed by another company, right? Next very other important part are different kind of operations we have. So far what I've shown you is more towards the customer, but again we have different SOPs, whether the camera is not working. Most of the time what happens, your camera is not working and you're not knowing until unless something happens, right? And the same way you have a security problem statement, sometime someone in the tier 2 cities, tier 3 cities, cash transactions are happening, you're not aware of it, selling 2 coffees and billing for the 1 coffee by the cash, a different kind of problem statement we have identified and we solved through the camera itself, right? And then of course pilferage and also you have so many problem statement which a camera can work because camera produce a data which as a human we can verify. No other sensor produce any such kind of a data. If even a fire alarm, let's say, start alarming here, someone has to see that what is happening here. That means you need to see whether there is a really there is a fire or not, right? But in this case, camera itself is producing that kind of insight for you. So again, this is how the dashboard look like. You can basically compare all your stores throughout the India. It's a store view, then you have different kind of a timing when the maximum customers are coming, what is their engagement time, what is your average queue time. So all those kind of customer journey is coming at one place and that data can be married with your sales data, right? And that is what the insight is, that is what the knowledge graph is. Coming to the next part, again, these data is being converted to a textual data which human want to use with their Excel sheet and all. But again, this is all not supply driven. Insights are always demand driven. I cannot give you certain filters, you select the filters and you get data. You might ask different kind of questions from that data. That is where we also have a Jarvis GPT, where you can just talk to your camera. It means you can basically write, you can type, you can speak, and it directly basically bring all the insights. Means and it's also having a WhatsApp bot. You need not to come to our dashboard. Just from your WhatsApp bot, you just do the query and you get the data. How many footfall you had in Juhu store, in one of your Juhu store, you can get from this only. You can download your Excel sheet over there. Simple, like your camera is your third eye. It's doing everything for you. And we're doing it for 200 plus brands, from Starbucks to Porsche to Cafe Coffee Day to Raymond. And what we need is just camera and internet connection. And actually camera is everywhere. We all have cameras. We are just making those cameras smarter. We are adding brain to them. And then we are basically developing this whole insights for you. 3 components of the software, video all, where you can see all your cameras, and then you have a dashboard. You do not need to buy any fancy command center or something. Your laptop can become a command center. Sitting everywhere, any part of the world, you can do anything. So that's all from my side. We are at booth 2B. If you have queries, if you want to see demos, if you want to understand the product, we love to do that. And of course, I think we do not have much time for the questions, but love to take your questions over there. And if you want to do any kind of a pilot or any kind of a thing, we love to do a live demo or live presentation in your own ecosystem. So that's all from my side. Thank you very much.